does happen, and this is one of those days where it's happening. So everyone needs to make sure you're paying extra close attention to the weather. Make sure you're following the warnings. We've also always talked about, social distancing regarding coronavirus. This is the kind of day where you kind of discard that. Getting to a safe place is the most important because this is an imminent threat, life-threatening. And then once we see the storm threat end, that's when you can go back to resuming the guidelines. A new tornado warning is showing up south of New Orleans, so it gives you an indicator that this whole line of storms has the potential of producing rotation, which is very serious and something, again, not very common for this time of the year. So we're going to stay with this. And Jennifer, are you heading into the truck?
Yes, just after this. They canceled the tornado warning for Stone, Mississippi, and now they are continuing it for Lucedale, for miles west of Lucedale, and now it's moving at 15 miles per hour.
Okay, thank you very much.
Slowing down just a little bit again.
So Jennifer is going to be in our Fox 10 Storm Tracker vehicle. So when these storms move into Mobile and Baldwin counties, we're going to be able to give you live video feeds from the truck. For those of you who've seen the promos, this thing is brand new, four-wheel drive. It's beautiful. And we're going to be able to give you some live pictures of these storms as they maneuver through. So I'll be manning the radar while she takes off in the truck while we continue our severe weather coverage. So if you're just joining us, I'm meteorologist Michael White, broadcasting from the Fox 10 Storm Tracker Center because of a tornado warning that has appeared for parts of Greene and George counties. Here's our watch warning map, and you can see where that red box is. That's called the polygon. Those are communities that are inside the tornado warning. It includes parts of George and Greene counties, but not everyone. Lucedale, it does not include you, but it does include Leakesville. It also includes Hillman, Vernal, Merrill, Leaf, and Avant are all included inside this tornado warning. That does not expire until 11:30. 11:30 is when the tornado warning will lapse, and that's when we'll start to see things hopefully getting a little more normal. You're staying. Okay, so Jennifer is staying with us, which is great. So she'll be able to continue to operate the radar and watch these storms as they push their way through. But they are producing heavy rain and lightning. We do have the possibility of a tornado on the ground around near Bendale, which is in northwestern George County. We've not gotten that confirmed, but based on radar imagery, the chance is certainly there. If you're watching us in Mobile and Baldwin County and you're looking outside and thinking, hey, there's no rain, there's no storms, what's going to happen with us? Well, all of these storms to the west are heading your way. They're all tracking east. So if you're watching in Mobile and Baldwin County, understand that the storms are moving your way. This is the future cast, and as we run this forward, you'll notice by noon, you start to see more and more storms appearing, especially west of Interstate 65. Those of you on the Panhandle, you may be waiting a little while longer to get your storm opportunities because these will keep trekking east during the second half of the day. Now, once we get past 3 and 4, that's when we'll start to see the coverage diminishing and we get a little bit of a lull in the action. Then round 2 will begin to push its way through, and that will happen this evening after 7 o'clock. So once we get to about 8 and 9, we'll start to see the storms blossoming up, re-emerging, and then we'll have those storms moving out by close to midnight, and that's when the rest of your Wednesday night should be quiet. But this is a day where you got to make sure you have a good radar app on your phone. You have the Fox 10 app on your phone. You have a good way to get warnings. If those warnings go off on your device, you take action because even though there will be a lull, there's still going to be the possibility of storms twice today. So here's the watch warning map. And again, the tornado warning is right here for George and Greene counties until 11:30. And this is probably not going to be the end of it. I have a feeling when this warning expires, there's going to be many more popping in. So as we go back to the radar, you'll see where the strongest storms are, where the heavy rain and lightning is falling. It's in a big line that's all moving eastward. But as we take a tighter peek at the core of the storm that's producing the warning, it's right here where most of the strikes have blossomed. It's where the strongest part of the storm is. And you see how it's got that little kidney bean shape right there? That indicates where there's inflow, which is moving into the storm. And then just to the west of it is where you would have that rotation, where you'd have that possible tornado showing up. So right here crossing this section of Mississippi Highway 57, and this line is the separator between George and Greene counties. So here's your possible tornado. It's lifting northeast. You've already got nasty amounts of lightning and heavy rain. That's a given, and most of you know in the summer, That could happen almost any day at all. But because of that rotating of the wind with height, it's adding that little wrinkle, that extra added danger to the weather pattern today, which is why we've got this tornado threat to begin with. And as we check the velocity display, you can see right now that's again where the possible tornado is, where the green and red are connected, right here along Mississippi 57, and it's lifting north near Avent and near Merrill, and it's moving to the northeast at 25 miles per hour. So you have a very dangerous storm that's picking up speed, getting ready to leave George County and move into Greene County, and the main line of storms is still to the west of us. So that's why if you're watching us in Mobile or Baldwin counties, you really haven't seen anything yet, but you will as we get closer to lunchtime today. So this is the severe weather risk zone, and this goes in play all day. We have a level 2 out of 5, which is the standard risk, and notice it covers areas west of I-65. When you see a level 2 risk zone, that means that severe weather, there's a good chance for it, and the main threat will come from gusty straight line winds, but the possibility of tornadoes moves in as well. And we have seen several tornado warnings earlier this morning around Mississippi and Louisiana, but now we're starting to see them across parts of our area. So that's what we're sticking with, and that's what we're watching. And we have not seen the rotating signatures change at any given point since we've come on the air with this severe weather threat about 20 minutes ago. So here's the velocity display that Jennifer just pulled up. That's your possible tornado. It's right along Mississippi Highway 57, south of Benjo, and getting ready to lift northeast into parts of Greene County. There's Bexley, and there's US 98. You know, of course, in our area, that's Moffett Road, and it does run all the way to near Lucedale in George County. And it's going to, this possible tornado is going to cross US 98 between Benjo and Bexley, I would say probably within the next 10 minutes based on the current rate of speed. So if you know anyone that lives in this area, make sure they know to be in their safe place. Here's a reminder again. If you are in a home, you need to be on the first floor, away from doors and windows, preferably a bathroom or a hall closet. If you're in an apartment, you need to go down to the first level. Hopefully you're friends with your neighbors down there. The worst place you could be is in a mobile home. If you live in a mobile home park, now's probably a good time to make plans to be in a foundation-based building. If you're in the tornado warning, it's almost too late, unfortunately. But if you're watching us anywhere else, you have plenty of time to make arrangements for the rest of the day, because this type of storm can just loft those mobile homes and cause significant amounts of damage. So as we watch this continue to move northeast at 25 miles per hour, we're going to continue to follow new updates. Do we have any more, Jennifer?
I'm not seeing anything new so far. Just the last update was that they were continuing it for those counties. Okay, so we're staying with the. We're going to stay with this. We're going to stay with the tornado warning for George and Greene counties. As far as the Weather Service, has no confirmed damage yet. They have not mentioned any of that going through. As far as the Twitter sphere, always like to check that for storm reports. Have not seen any photos or anything like that from the Weather Service, but still watching and monitoring in case that changes. So you got Jennifer manning the radar and managing the social media part of all of this. And as far as what we've got on the radar is what we've told you is strong storms that possibly are producing tornadoes located in George County. We got a new scan. It's just south of Benjo and near Merrill and working northeast at about 25 miles per hour. So it is right over Mississippi Highway 57. The next major thoroughfare it's going to cross is going to be US 98, just to the north and west of Bexley and Merrill. So if you know anyone that lives in that area, it's a rural part of George and Greene counties, make sure you tell them right now that this is serious business. This is a dangerous storm producing a possible tornado. We have seen pictures from the tornado warnings that went off earlier in Louisiana when we were doing the morning news. Those did produce damage. So there's a good chance this one might be as well. So take this threat seriously. If you missed the track of the possible times, we'll zoom out and Jennifer will pull that up for you again. It's moving at 25 miles an hour. So based on where the storm's currently positioned north of Bendale, based on a 25 mile an hour movement to the north and east,
Here's where some of the communities that are in danger will be. And you can see for Leakesville, that puts you under the gun at 11:35. So about a half hour from now, assuming that storm holds together, it's going to be right over you. Vernal at 11:15. Ronesville at 11:46, Wally at 11:51. So the storm's going to keep moving its way northeast at about 25 miles an hour through our Mississippi counties, George and Greene County. It is not in Mobile County yet. It's not in Washington